Hey, what's going on, Vikings fans? It's Skol side back again with another video. And honestly, this is a video I'm very excited to be making. You know, I think the Vikings made two really key moves in this offseason. The first one being bringing in Don Capers and all he knows about the 3-4 defense. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of my most, impactful moves that nobody's talking about in the NFL is Gary Kubiak becoming our full-time offensive coordinator. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, anyway, so starting off, Gary Kubiak, offensive coordinator. You know, he's a Super Bowl winning head coach. Everybody knows a lot about him, I feel like he's more of, you know, he's an old school guy. He's a football guy. He's from that Andy Reid type of breed. Just football, big country type of guy. Zimmer's, honestly, if there's a dream offensive coordinator for Zimmer, it's Gary Kubiak. And I think that's fully why Zimmer, almost allowed him to take that step as being the full-time offensive coordinator. You know, as we've seen in years past, the Vikings have had their number of offensive coordinators, whether it was just they weren't working out with the quarterback, whether it was just different reasons that they didn't work out with Zimmer. I mean, for the most recent example, we saw DeFilippo and Zimmer. You know, DeFilippo wanted to open it up in that 5-wide type of scheme and really just let Kirk throw for 30 to 40 times a game. Didn't really focus on the run, and that's when we saw the falling out between him and Zimmer. Yeah, the offense, honestly, during that year, it wasn't terrible. You know, the defense let us down in a couple games, but however, the offense did let us down a lot. And honestly, I think Zimmer wanted a coordinator to be more mindful of running the ball. And honestly, if there's a coordinator in the NFL that likes to run the ball more than Gary Kubiak, please find that for me. I think Kubiak and Zimmer are a match made in heaven, and I think Kubiak will really help this Vikings team a lot in this upcoming year. And the main reason why is the first reason I could think of right off the top of my head, because I remember Shannon Sharpe talking about it on Undisputed. Shannon Sharpe was a tight end who played for Gary Kubiak under his system when they won a Super Bowl. Shannon Sharpe, it was the show. It was a Monday after the Vikings had just beat the Cowboys on that Monday night. So, of course, they're going to talk about it because Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe was he was talking about the game plan that the Vikings had going into it. And that was run the ball, chew the clock, just take the soul out of the stadium. And that's what Gary Kubiak, I think, really needs to bring to this Vikings team. Because I think, yeah, being an offensive coordinator, it's a lot X's and O's. Get your guys the ball when they need it, where they need it, make them the best player they can be. However, I think a lot about being an offensive coordinator is coming up with a game plan on the road compared to at home. Two different things. You know, at home, you want to be the high flying. You want to be punch you in the mouth type of you want to be like a mixture of everything. However, on the road, you just want to get that crowd out of it, because if that crowd gets going with the home team's defense in your ear, it could be very suffocating, especially for a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, who we've seen almost look suffocated in certain games. That's why I think Gary Kubiak will really be impactful. You know, Shannon Sharpe laid it out perfectly. He said, you know, it was back. He said it reminded him of the game plans that they had going on the road in the playoffs when he was on the Denver Broncos. We're going to turn around, hand the ball to Terrell Davis, who was the running back at the time, very similar to us, turning around, handing it to Dalvin Cook, and just let that man run and let that clock run and hit you in play action, hit you with bootlegs. Shannon Sharpe said it's very similar to the game plan that they planned out against the Cowboys. And I think we will see more of that in this upcoming year in the big road games we have. You know, we saw that against the Saints for the most part too, is you got to suck the life out of that, opposing crowd. Be like, damn, we could lose this game. Because, you know, when we're at home and we're watching the Vikings play and we're watching them play in US Bank Stadium, we're like, no, and the defense is flying and everything. No way somebody's going to come in here and beat us. However, I was at that game last year against Green Bay, and it was just you're kind of looking around wait, what's going on? Why aren't we moving the ball? Aaron Jones is starting to get going a little bit. It's getting a little quiet in here. We need something to cheer about. You know, that's the biggest key is these Gary Kubiak schemes. It almost takes the crowd away from the game, and it makes it almost like you're playing on a neutral site, which is huge during the playoffs, huge in primetime games, and huge in just big games, divisional games. That's why the Vikings have never played well on Soldier Field. Never. But I think Gary Kubiak is going to come up with a scheme in Chicago, in Soldier Field on Monday night to get Kirk Cousins his first Monday Night Football win. Now, I'm not saying offense coordinator is going to make or break somebody's season. However, I do think Gary Kubiak will have a very positive impact on the Vikings in this upcoming year. And I think it's mainly because his game script plans. It's more than X and O's. It's calling certain plays during certain times. Yeah, I think Stefanski was great. I think he's more of a modern type of age football, and I don't think Stefanski was really sold on what Kubiak and Zimmer wanted to do. And I think it was time we got him out. Even though I love Stefanski, he was there with the Vikings for 12 plus years. He deserved the head coaching job. He'll probably be great in Cleveland. However, for this Vikings team, Gary Kubiak is the perfect fit. Anyways, guys, I'm probably going to make a video about Don Capers running that 3-4 and how I think it will affect certain players like Barr, Daniil, and especially Michael Pierce. Actually, mainly Barr, I think, will benefit. But anyways, I'll make a full video on that coming up in the future. Q&A, I still want to do it. Just trying to gather more questions. Drop them down below. I'll add a comment down there you guys can ask. Should be coming up soon. Don Capers video coming up soon. I want to make a video about Jamal Adams. Could be a little fun type of video. Him next to Harrison Smith. Anyways, I think Gary Kubiak, great fit for the Minnesota Vikings. Honestly, I think you couldn't really ask for a better, I guess, offense coordinator for Zimmer than Gary Kubiak. I mean, they'll be running that practice like it's 1975, just like how Zimmer wants it, just like how Kubiak wants it. It will be a great fit, and hopefully it'll improve the Vikings' road record this year. That's mainly what I'm excited about, is them going on the road and them winning games. Hearing that from a former player like Shannon Sharpe was pretty cool. That will be the game plan going forward in road games, and it's very tough to stop. And honestly, I think it's only positive for Gary Kubiak. There's no real negative. Will it make or break our year? We'll see. I mean, there's a huge difference if we can get 1 or 2 wins out of Gary Kubiak, being 12-4 and 10-6, first round bye, no bye, divisional champs, wild card. I mean, there's a huge difference. Anyways, I think it'll be extremely positive. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Try to hit 500 subs soon. Anyways, guys, I'll see you from you next time. Thanks.